All right, legends, how is everybody doing? We are live. Let's analyze the situation here for the price of Bitcoin because this bounce does look very corrective, right? We did get aggressive move to the downside last week and getting a little bit of a bounce, managed to hit $84,000 plus. This still looks very corrective. I do expect the price of Bitcoin to reclaim the $81,000 range. Now, the question is, how far can that breakdown go? Okay, we need to analyze the local situation. We did have this movement to the downside, very three-wavy. We could have discussed that, yeah, maybe this was the fifth wave. Is this the bounce? Now we're going to get an aggressive move to the downside, or is there still room for this correction? It's going to be a little bit of more complex type of corrective move, or is the price ready? It's just ready to roll down from this zone. Okay, we need to analyze very carefully what are the different local scenarios on the lower time frame, because we have several options as always, right? We just need to see which option is the one that is going to hit our major levels of confluence to basically get into the next trading setup, right? Let's go right away through the comment section. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me. You can see me. Let's see if we are live and you can see me. Yes, let's go. Let's say hello to the beautiful community. April Fool's Day stream not happening. Yes. We've seen a few jokes out on X, very funny influencers out there with their jokes, right? As we do know, we ain't doing that here, guys. There's no time for joking. We are here to analyze the price action of Bitcoin and analyze the, different scenarios that could happen, okay? So, hello, Master Aditya, my man. Much love to you here with the Join the Legends community on Discord with all of the different modules to learn how to trade. Colin, how are you doing, my man? Not sure. Hello, how are you doing? Dr. Arnico, how are you doing? April Fools, yes, it is. Big Don 25, my man, the winner of $500 tether a few weeks ago, actually last month. How are you doing, my man? Mikey, how are you doing? Hello, legends. Brikesh, not sure. Zach, let's see if that like button is going to get smashed today, legends, because last stream yesterday was, I think I got over just about 300 likes. We can get that like button smashing, guys. Let's go. We did have some news today, but there's even better news on Friday. Non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, and Fair Chair Powell's speech. I would expect Friday to be a little bit more volatile. Are we ready to pivot here on interest rates? Are we going to cut interest rates very aggressively in the next coming months? Because inflation has gone down by quite a bit, okay? Inflation throughout the last year has been down quite a lot, guys, which is pretty damn good, right? Inflation is pretty much under control, and we need a catastrophic event, right? We need a big dump in the market to cut rates very aggressively, emergency meeting, and start the money printer going on. Let's see if we do get that in the next coming months. However, we do need an event, okay? We do need a big fat drop. We do need the markets to crash for the emergency meeting, right? For the emergency meeting, cut rates and start printing money. It's usually followed by a massive dump. There's some interesting news that I want to talk about now. The sentiment right now is, extremely bad. Sentiment is extremely bad. Even higher from the C19 crash that we had in 2020, all right? Uncertainty index is as high as the C19 crash, guys. This is absolutely crazy. Of course, the last time this signaled a major reversal, but there hasn't been any big major crash on Bitcoin or the stock market, right? We haven't seen major collapse, all right? So I would like to see a major collapse. First of all, right? First, see a big collapse, right? Let's get the drop, get down below $76,000, get it over with, right? Could we hit the high 60K levels? That would have to be an awesome buying opportunity, guys, because there is speculation that Bitcoin is going to take over as the world reserve currency, right? BlackRock CEO Larry Fink warns dollar at risk of losing world reserve currency status to Bitcoin. I mean, it is April Fool's. I would not be sure if Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, okay, would actually say this. This is like kind of April Fool's kind of joke, right? So, yeah, I'm not too sure if I would want to believe this. I'm not sure if this is legit, right? We've seen so many fake news today throughout X and all over the place, right? So, is this true or not? Well, this is actually pretty damn bullish, if you tell me, right, for Bitcoin in the near future, right? So Bitcoin getting a dump, Bitcoin getting a drop. Okay, of course, when we analyze the lower time frames, you know, this was looking extremely corrective. I think it was almost imminent to see a correction on the price of Bitcoin, getting a little bit of momentum here to the upside. It was almost imminent that we were going to see this kind of correction, okay? This kind of drop. I think the $81,000 level is likely going to be tested, okay? I'm not sure what the stock market is doing right now. We can pull out the stock market and then analyze the different scenarios for the price of Bitcoin, guys, as we are getting that like button absolutely destroyed. Stock market got a little bit of a bounce, but now is taking the hit. I think today's news has impacted a little bit. Jobs opening. It is slightly lower than expected. ISM manufacturing PMI is also slightly lower than expected. Oof, just a little bit, nothing too serious, but that is getting that bearish sentiment, bearish effect here on the stock market, followed by Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin followed by the stock market. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the different scenarios here on the price of Bitcoin. Okay, taking into consideration the waves, the analysis. It does look very bearish. This bounce was, we were looking for a kind of a corrective move here. Obviously, it did get a little bit more complex, and it could get a little bit more complex than we expect. Okay, who's believing that we are going to form a higher low here, and this is going to be bullish? That we are forming a double 1-2. This is a double 1-2, and it's going to pop out, right? Who is believing this? Let me know in the comment section. We'll be analyzing right away, guys, in the next coming minutes. Okay, let's get some people joining the stream. We're getting that volatility, major drop, just a drop of $2,000 since today's highs approximately, right? Not even that just yet, so nothing too major. Okay, what is going on? Who's this? Who is this? What's going on here? We're getting some spamming going on in the comment section. Let's go. Sup, Andy? Let's go through the comment section. Say hello. Totally a joke, says Dr. Nico. Yeah. Let's go, family. Hello, sir. Lived your knowledge. Lived or loved. Immortal 𝗬𝚻. Thank you very much, my man. Much love to you. Omar, afternoon, Andy. Happy vibes. Let's go. Okay, not too many comment section. Andy, looks like we're getting a squeeze. Yes, we are. We are getting a bit of a squeeze to the downside. Let's analyze this structure, because I mean, not an easy one, guys. I have to say, not an easy one. I would still believe that coming down to the lows would be a good sign to get a major bounce. I would have to believe, based on the price action, that maybe the fifth wave is not in. Okay, throughout the last couple of days, we were analyzing this as a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Could we form a flat here and then a wave 5? Well, what happened is that we did get this movement, right? Did look like a possible flat. We swept the highs. We were coming to the downside, and then we got the surprise pump that is actually getting a dump right now. When we do take a look at this momentum to the upside, which is very disturbing, okay? Very disturbing, very choppy. It has not been easy, guys. It has not been easy price action. We're just getting loads of overlap here with this movement to the upside. Very choppy volatility here. Hasn't been overall directional, easy to analyze. What is easier to analyze is to zoom out a little bit, guys. You need to zoom out when the noise is too big on the lower time frames. Lots of overlap here, volatility. You need to slightly zoom out and analyze the situation on the slightly higher time frame and understand where you are coming from the last few days. You are coming from a major drop down, okay? That is looking pretty damn impulsive, if you ask me. It looks pretty damn aggressive. You got big moves. The market is breaking this uptrend structure that we had the last few weeks. Very nice, very beautiful. Now we got this, okay? As we do have this movement to the downside, you expect all of this is just going to be a bunch of noise that happens right over here, and you are looking to follow another move down, right? Keeping it in simple terms, right? Because sometimes there could be a lot of noise on the lower time frame, and it can get very confusing. That did get a little bit confusing for me on lower time frames here. Very choppy, very overlappy. However, you need to zoom out and understand how the price moves, right? Zoom out a little bit, forget about the bunch of noise that is happening in this zone, and understand that the market moves in either 3 waves or in 5 waves, right? Simple. Let's keep it that way. Market needs to move in 3 waves or 5 waves. Sometimes the 3 waves can be very complex. They can form a WXY, where in the middle you have a flat, and then you have a triangle, and then you get the deal, right? It does get a little bit complex sometimes on the corrective structures. So we'll be analyzing very carefully this scenario, but there is a possibility that, yeah, maybe this was the 4th wave. Now you're going to form a 5th wave. Hey, what about this being an ABC, this being a flat in an X, and now you're basically going to form another zigzag or another impulsive move down. Regardless, it does not matter. I do expect the price to get a significant bounce in this zone. All right. The problem is, how are we going to detect it? That is the problem, right? Because it's very easy to say, this is support, this is massive zone, all right? This is the level that I'm looking for along. We need to analyze the structure, how we get down there. We need to analyze it. So this was not an easy move, guys. I would happily say that this could have been an ABC flat. Still an ABC flat. Why could this still be an ABC flat? You know, you have, you know, look at the waves here. You have, I don't know, you have 3 waves. You have, you know, well, yeah, basically you have 5 waves. You can actually count 5 waves here to the upside, and it would give you a valid possibility for a 5-wave structure. This movement that we did have yesterday, right, Monday, sorry, this actually formed a higher low on most of the exchanges. Bybit almost took out that low right over here. So what you have is this movement. You have a flat in the middle, not taking out the initial stages. So this is a higher low. So this has to be a possible wave 1, wave 2, or a wave A and a wave B. It doesn't matter, right? It's a higher low. You got a higher low right there. Then you got this aggressive move to the upside that internally does also have 5 waves. Not the most beautiful 5-wave structure. Regardless, it does have it, right? It's just another move to the upside. Very noisy, very overlappy. Then you got this correction, and then you got this move to the upside. So technically, you do have a 5-wave move happening here, because this higher low formed, you know, this low right over here formed a higher low. So was this the 5-wave move in a flat, right? In the ABC flat? Well, you know, it's been incredibly choppy and incredibly disturbing, right? It has been pretty disturbing, but I would arguably discuss, just because you had a higher low right over here, right, on Monday, not taking out that low. Well, yeah, this is your 3rd, your 4th, your 5th, and you're forming a little bit of a, you know, bit of a contracting move, you would arguably discuss, right? A little bit of a contracting 5-wave structure. It is not easy. It is not great, but it is there. You have a 5-wave move here to the upside, you like it or not. Thanks to that higher low that was created on Monday, right? This one right over here when we zoom in. All of this, you know, is important. This is important to understand that the probabilities right now increase to take out the low, to take out $81,000 at some point, right? So yeah, we could say that this is definitely the option. We are moving down a bit aggressively right now. You know, nobody likes to count the micro counts here on the different possibilities for the price of Bitcoin, but I am sorry, I am here to do that, guys. All of the, you know, BS counting on the lower time frames, if you wish, you know, I'm here to do that, as not many people would like to go and do that, you know, live on YouTube. So yes, everything points out that 81,100 is still the highest probability scenario. Okay, we're going to be identifying the different possibilities in this area to see, you know, hey, what if we do form a higher low here and we get a bounce, right? Then we have to kind of identify different structures that could be happening, but would be saying that, yeah, we do have a chance here, especially if this low is claimed in the next couple of hours. If this low is claimed right over here, this higher low, then there is a high chance, in my opinion, that we are going to be heading south. Okay, very likely that we're going to be heading south, because this bounce no longer looks too strong, right? If you ask me. So one more low to come, in my opinion, at least, and it could be devastating. It could be a big collapse, right? So this is one scenario right over here. You have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that is still on the formation, right? Because your fourth wave has been a flat. Your fourth wave has respected very nicely the 382 to the 50% zone, which is where we currently got the rejection today, in between 382 and 50%. We're taking Fibonacci from this high to this low right over here, and here you have the flat move. Inside of the flat move, your C wave needs to have 5 waves, which is verified. You have a verified 5-wave move to the upside and a contracting move, right? So south is the most likely scenario, guys. We were getting a little bit of a bounce throughout today. People were getting pretty excited, but it's not looking extremely great, right? It's not looking too great, guys. Anybody that is bullish right now, you know, this is not a, you know, a bounce was likely throughout this zone, okay? Yeah, without a doubt, a bounce was very, very likely. We front-runned major levels here, so this is disturbing for me. Didn't manage to catch a nice long here, guys, I have to say, the last few days. You know, nice little uptrend. Didn't manage, but I would be interested in still looking for the long positions later on, guys. I do expect this 80K, 79K zone to get a, you know, proof of support and look for a reversal. Look for choppiness, okay? Look for choppiness, look for proof of support. We might hit 79K. We might even hit 78K, right? But regardless, you know, looking for a significant rally, significant bounce. You know, maybe this was not the bounce and we're going to sweep up the lows. All of those long traders that haven't been taking profits, right, might be getting stopped out at break even or not taking enough profits, right? Let's talk about the different scenarios, okay? Let's talk about the different possibilities, because I don't know what the heck's going to happen, but I do know, you know, if this happens, then I would be looking at this, right? I would be looking at this scenario. If this happens, I would be looking at that. We need to build up the map, guys. This is what it's all about, right? If you prefer me getting the RSI out, right? Or getting the money flow, right? Getting the market cipher or the RSI, and start talking about money flow, and, you know, start talking about, you know, lagging indicators, saying, you know, we should be bottoming out here, or we should be topping out, you know, we should be looking for a reversal, or analyze how the price could move, right? Analyze how the price could move and have 3-4 different options, and depending on what option happens, we pull the trigger as traders, right? Because it's very easy, right? You know, I think the easy content, you can go follow other easier content. This is a little bit more complex, guys. There's a little bit more hours behind all of these scenarios, right? Because we try and map what is the next move that could happen, you know, in the next coming hours between today and tomorrow, and just be ready for that scenario and see if it does maintain our support, maintain our resistance, pull the trigger, get into a successful trade with good risk, and move on. Let's go. Frank Callison, my man, how are you doing? What's going on? Crypto Big Brains here in the comment section. Let's go. Got my moderator, Bull or Bear. We are here, long and short legends. Let's go. Yes, exactly. We're here for the bear market, for the bull run. Hello, chartist. Have a great day. Rudy, much love. Looks like we're going back down. Fake breakout. Absolutely. All of this was very likely going to be a type of corrective move. Could this correction get a little bit more complex, right? We'll be analyzing several scenarios. For the moment, best case scenario, guys, for the bulls is that this is a multiple 1-2 setup. I would not support that scenario, guys, okay? I would not support that scenario. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, regardless, this is a 5-wave move to the upside. I mean, on Bybit, we almost took that low, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look at this low that we did create. Yeesh! We just about hit that low on Bybit. But on most of the exchanges, we did not hit the low. Let me take a look out here. 81,234. 81,234. Yeah, exactly the same level here on Bybit, which is a little bit disturbing. A little bit disturbing that we actually did hit that low on Bybit, but I think on other exchanges, let me just double check, guys. Coinbase, I think Coinbase, yeah, we did not hit that low on Coinbase. That low was not hit on Coinbase. Let's take a look at Binance here 1 second, guys, because on most of the exchanges, yeah, it was not hit on Bybit. So it was only on Bybit mainly that we did hit this low that was formed on Monday, right? So this is a higher low. And as this is a higher low, you need to start thinking, different possibilities. This is a higher low right over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is a contracting move here to the upside. So any contracting move to the upside, can be bullish. It can be bullish, right? So why not? Why not say, what if this is bullish? We are downtrending, and I'm happy to lean more on the bearish side, guys. Okay, this movement to the upside does not look incredibly good. We are forming some crazy bullish CVD divergence here on Bybit. But yeah, only on Bybit. We do have some aggressive lower lows from this zone, but not too much. Yeah, rest of exchanges have actually formed lots of longs entering here on many exchanges. People getting really bullish on this momentum that we had today, which is, I wouldn't get too bullish here. Very much interested in looking for shorts based on what we mentioned in the last few days, right? Looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. Possibly 4, possibly 5. Yes, relief rally. Look for a next leg down. Possibility of forming a flat. Still on the cards. Yes. Regardless of if this would have been the end of this impulse or not the end of the impulse, anything that happens here is just likely to be corrective. And we're looking for the price to roll down back to 81K. It's just, you're looking at corrective possible patterns. If this was not the end of the fourth wave, right? Well, you're looking at this somewhere here to be the end of the fourth wave, possibly, right? There is a really nice count, which is the one that I just explained, right? It's very, very possible that what you formed here is a 5-wave move up. And that's what you want to see in your ABC flat, right? Let's just turn this yellow because I like yellow. And, what we looked at here is an ABC flat to then form the 5th wave. This is definitely the scenarios. Let's just take a look at the timing. From the start of A to the end of B, yeah, all good, 1 to 1. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good for this to be an ABC flat, and then your 5th wave is not in just yet. I would support this scenario. I would definitely support this scenario. But what if this is not the case? What if this is not the case? And we do not get the low just yet. And what happened here? I mean, this is the confusion right now in this area, guys. It's getting, this has been your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? There is a valid count for this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what you formed right over here is that contracting move in a 5-wave move in your wave A. Okay, so what is going to be interesting right now is the next leg down. Okay, I do expect a bounce here, so there might be a little short scalp. I do expect a little bit of a 3-wave structure here to then either break down or to either find support and get the leg up here and get to $85,000. It is a possible scenario. It is a possible scenario, okay? And at the end of the day, what you're looking at here, just to keep it simple, is an A wave, B wave, C wave. You get a large pump up. Let's go to the lower time frames. Nice little drop down with pretty nice volume. Yeah, what we want to see here on this relief rally is to find resistance and get another roll down. Okay, that's what we're going to be looking at right now on the lower time frames. Yeah, this does look pretty impulsive if you ask me. Yeah, what I would like to see on the structure here, you know, there's a lack of waves. So what I want to see on the waves here is we're moving down, you know, at some point get some kind of relief bounce and then another movement to the downside here. If this movement to the downside does not have any power, you know, what we could be looking at is, you know, literally a larger ABC scenario, right? We do have those bullish CVD divergence on Bybit. Very aggressive ones, very aggressive ones. Let's take a look at today's levels. Not much going on here. Previous day value levels. Where we did get rejected today was the previous month open. Previous month open is where we got rejected today is the first. Okay, so that's the monthly open right over here. We did get rejected from that pivot today. We did get rejected from the previous month open. Getting a little bit of a bounce. This bounce is going to be very interesting, guys. Where we bounced is the previous week open and the previous month close, right? The monthly open is where we got that bounce today, right now on this drop. Pretty aggressive. I would say, you know, this is a very aggressive long position, but that's exactly where we bounced right now. The previous week open and the previous month close. This is like very sniper. Not, in my opinion, breaking down like this is not worth it, right? When we go to the monthly or the weekly time frame, we can see here how previous week close right over here, previous week close, and the previous month close as well. Yeah, that's where we exactly got the bounce here. Look how previous month and previous week levels are very important, guys. You can see how previous month open is where we got the resistance today, and the previous week open or previous month close is where we are bouncing. So the monthly and weekly levels, highs and lows, opens, right, are getting some pretty nice resistance and support throughout this region, which is interesting to see. We got a few scenarios, guys. Not going to be easy. Not going to be easy. I am leaning more on the bearish case. I am leaning more on the bearish scenario, which is taking out $81,000. So who is bullish? Who sees a massive epic V-shaped recovery? Let me know in the comment section. Do you think that this is just going to V-shape? I don't think so, guys. This is a major sign of weakness. Of course, relief rally is very much expected, as it is happening right now at this moment. Let's take a look at stock market, what it's doing. Getting a bit of relief rally as well. Stock market after the bad news. Stock market getting a bit of a relief, but nothing too major. Okay, so the probabilities here on the higher time frame. Let's talk about higher time frame probabilities. Regardless of the noise on the lower time frame legends of what could happen, the highest probability scenario at some point is taking out $81,000, right? Any move to the upside to $84,000, $85,000, $86,000 range is likely going to be part of a correction. What we are looking at here is for another wave to the downside. Okay, so yeah, just trying to map here what would be another scenario that could happen. What could be another aggressive scenario? Regardless, probabilities are leaning to the downside, right? The probabilities are leaning for this kind of movement, right? Regardless of the bounce or not. So it is looking like, this is like the higher time frame picture, right? Sometimes you just need to zoom out and understand what is highly likely here to happen on the price of Bitcoin, regardless the bounce. There will be a possible better short. If the price bounces off here, there will be a possible better short, okay? Let's talk about how the price action could move in the next coming hours, okay? Because we need to have 3-4 scenarios ready on how the price action could move, guys, because I do see many options. And for all of those people like, this dude doesn't know what the heck's going on, right? He doesn't have any high probability setups. There is, but we need to see the price action develop a little bit more. Because down here, there is a lot of support, okay? Down here, there's a lot of support. We have front-runned some big major levels. Let's talk about the easy scenario. Right? Let's talk about the easy scenario, which is this has been still a corrective structure and now the price is ready to roll down, right? That would be the easy scenario. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Easy scenario if the price does continue down here, right? In a 5-wave move. We got a first impulsive move to the downside. So now what we need to understand is that the price action needs to form a lower high, right? Price action needs to form a lower high on this bounce. If the price forms another lower high and it starts moving down aggressively in a 5-wave move, then what we're looking at here is the end of this possible 5th wave. Getting a pretty decent bounce at the moment. Pump and dump, dump and pump kind of situation. Will we rip? I would be surprised if we do, but here, the market is here to surprise us. We just got that news, which has been bearish. So we got the drop down. Stock market getting a major bounce from the drop. And there has been some pretty intense correlation here with Bitcoin. Woo! Interesting bounce. So it is crucial right now that Bitcoin does form a lower high from this pivot. If we do form a lower high, what I would be looking at here is the reversal, right? What you want to see is a 5-wave move to the downside. That would be the ideal scenario on the lower time frames, 5-minute, 15-minute. This would be the moment that I would be interested in taking a long position if the price moves down throughout the next coming hours like this. If the price moves down in a 5-wave impulse, manages to form a lower high, I am interested in the long setup in this region. Now, this region, we got a few levels. There's a few levels of interest here at this zone. Right, it's very important to understand, the different scenarios that could happen, right? Because that's when it brings the highest probability setup. Let's zoom out ever so slightly here on the 1 hourly time frame. And it's all waiting for the perfect trades, guys. This is what it's all about. It's all waiting for the perfect trades. Down here at the $80,000 range, down in this area, okay, what we do have is the value area low of this trading zone. We do have a daily level. We do have a weekly level. There is a lot of confluence down here at this area. If the price does manage to continue the bearish momentum, what we want to see is a lower high formed on this bounce without taking out the highs, preferably, and get the continuation to the downside. If this were to happen, then eventually I would be looking at this as the end of the impulse. Okay, pretty symmetrical, very nice. That would be the ideal scenario. If we do move down without taking out the highs, this becomes a very interesting level to look for longs to get that bounce. So I will be waiting for this scenario. This is one scenario eventually. This is also coming down to the golden pocket region. If golden pocket from the pivot low of last Tuesday, the 11th of March, this was 2 weeks ago, to the highs right over here. If we do find support at the golden pocket, and we do see the daily, the weekly, it's a strong zone, a sweep of the lows for liquidity. This could be the area where it actually gets the reversal bounce. A pretty large one, right? That's the zone that I would be interested if the price continues to the downside here. It's in between $80,500 and $81,000. We've got a pretty significant, I mean, this is news related. So there has been, we know how the news is basically on the charts. You know, you do get that kind of pump and dump, dump and pump. So we just got that news coming out here of ISM PMI and JOLTS jobs, which was lower than expected. It did have a bearish effect on the news. But then this is what you get, right? Pure manipulation. When we get bad news, it is a pump and dump, right? Or dump and a pump. When it's good news, you might get a dump and then a pump. You know, clear how you can see here how the bad news has been, you know, give that effect on the market. This is a stock market. And then, you know, getting that massive V shape, because I think lots of people will like to short the dump, right? Short the bad news as you get the bad news in, and then it obviously creates that kind of V shape. There are ways to trade the news eventually, right? Trade the manipulation of the news, where it gets the dump on the bad news as it comes out, and then you get into the V shape, right? You get ready for some longs at certain levels. So pretty interesting bounce, okay? Pretty interesting bounce on the news after the dump. Pretty interesting bounce, as you can see here, on the price of Bitcoin. But we're still leaning on, the possible chance here of forming a lower high and then getting the rollover. So let's go right away through the several scenarios, guys, you know, because as we're looking for good day trade setups, the best area of confluence for me for long positions is without a doubt getting another leg down here to the low 80K zone. 80,600 to 81,000. I mean, this is just, you just have to be patient, right? You know, this is the best area where you can see proof of support. Actually, the price action eventually getting that dip down beneath that level, right? You would expect potentially a break, a kind of fake out. Where I would be ready as well is with this higher low that could create that swing failure pattern, right? This is the moment where the price gets very aggressive, people panic based on the breakdown of major confluence levels, and it ends up with a big massive wick. Okay, it ends up with a big massive wick and then a possible recovery. So this still becomes the zone of interest, and I will be treating these levels as my guideline. Okay, I like this higher low because typically you would get that fake out from the value area low, right? So this becomes a good SFP scenario right over here. This one right over here on the higher time frame. This is higher, a little bit of a higher time frame, guys, just to get stuff ready, because we might come down tonight, we might come down tomorrow morning, we might not even come down and continue ranging here, this complex correction that we're going to eye now on the lower time frame. But it's just something to be ready. Incredibly impulsive move, still leaning that this has been the third wave and giving some different possibilities on the chart right now based on this correction, right? This correction could still be part of a fourth wave. We need to understand that. And if the price does manage to, come down a little bit aggressive in between today and tomorrow, it could be that scenario that we're looking at, right? The end of an impulse, and then we're looking for a larger bounce to then come back down. So it's a scenario that you need to be ready for. And that's, a scenario that I'm getting here you guys ready, because, I'm getting ready for this scenario. This would be a zone that I'll be looking for long positions based on the reaction. And there's three major important levels. The daily, not that important, but it is nice because you have this higher low. You could get an instant reaction bounce. It could get choppy. But, if you do start reacting, right, very choppy price action in this zone, after you do come down to this area, well, that's the moment that you want to look for the reversal, right? Because you want to get into these little bounces once the price comes down to certain support levels. So very important zone. It is also the golden pocket from the pivot low of the rise of the last couple of weeks to the highs at 88.7K. Golden pocket area weekly. And it's very common to see these levels being broken, right? So you're looking at this zone to long, and what the price action does is it actually slices through the level and then gets the recovery, right? And all of those people that were long in here very aggressively with a lot of leverage, right? Or just being, not patient to really see the consolidation, the proof of support, they get kind of wicked out with the drop, right? So what becomes more interesting is not actually this zone, is actually this higher low right over here, right? Most aggressively hitting the 7/8 Fibonacci, in my opinion, and then getting obviously the overall reversal bounce. So, these are good SFP levels purely based on the amount of support that you do have here. But what does likely happen, and many times, is that you cross all of that confluent zone and then you get the relief rally. But you would have to come to that conclusion that this would be the end, right, of that fifth wave move. Major bounce on stock market, major bounce on Bitcoin as well. Very, very strong bounce on the drop of today here. Very, very strong bounce. It's been a bit of a dump and pump. Yeah, let's take a look at other scenarios here, just in case, we V-shape from here. We need to be ready for some other levels, right? If we do not climb down from here, what if we do take out the highs? Because it's all about getting levels once you cross the highs or the lows, right? So if we do cross these highs right over here, what the heck was this? What was all of this? Is this still... what the heck is going on? Is this a double 1-2 and we're just going to fly in a third wave right now? Well, this is what we need to analyze very, very carefully here. Yeah, sorry about that moment of silence, guys. I was just looking at the different possible counts and scenarios. We did not manage to get all the way up here to this level. We ever so slightly front run the 50% Fibonacci from this pivot high to the pivot low. A little bit of a front run. I would still lean on the possibility of the price sweeping up that high and then getting the rejection. It's going to be interesting because price is just getting a big V-shaped recovery. Very hard long to get into, I have to say. As we do have the news, it's a pump, dumping pump, pumping dump. We got stock market getting a pretty decent bounce. Bitcoin getting also a significant bounce at the moment as we speak. So what if we do take out the highs? I mean, I will not support the possibility of a double 1-2 setup here and the price breaks out in a third wave. We just have to remain a little bit patient to see how that breakout occurs from the highs. But that would be a very much an interesting scenario. There's no quick short positions here. The massive bullish CVD divergence that were formed on Bybit is what is paying off right now. You had massive lower lows on Bybit, lots of shorts entering on Bybit on that movement down, which are now getting squeezed out. You know, people that have been shorting here, FOMOing into the drop, you know, are the ones that are actually, you know, paying off right now. This is why I do not get into breakout scenarios here of trends or any of that, right? I would rather look for major levels of resistance where the price could top out, right? Or good levels of support to look for the reversal. Because look at the breakout of this trend, right? If you are a breakout trader, well, you know, time out. You're out of the market, right? So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting scenario right now on this bounce. Very, very interesting scenario because there is the possibility One, two, three, 1, 2. Yeah, coming to the conclusion of what could be happening here, guys. Easy flat. Very, very disturbing volatility. I mean, I would expect a possible lower high still on the possibility here, okay? Still could lower high. I would be surprised if we do take out this high. What are we looking at here next, guys? Lower time frame volatility has got me crazy the last couple of days. It has been very, very hard area. You know, and I cannot joke about this this price range because it's been a little bit complex. It has been a little bit complex. You know, ideal scenario right now is that you do form a lower high, right? This has just been a quick little short squeeze scenario that has happened. And, you know, I would prefer to see a lower high right now because if we do take out the highs, you know, there is a possibility of the price squeezing out quite a bit. And that just has to do with the bullish market structure. You got the high, you know, you got this low right over here, move up, higher low, move up, higher low right over here. And then if you squeeze out, there is a chance of a pretty significant squeeze. Okay, so this is a moment to be a little bit patient. When you do have very similar two waves, and you're then going to break out the highs, this could really squeeze out. This could really squeeze out, and it's been a complete bear trap, guys. I hope nobody got into a short position here on the breakout. because, yeah, I mean, you get the deal. This thing about breakout, you know, or a bearish flag or whatever is not the way on, you know, how you want to trade, because, yeah, I mean, if you would have got into this breakdown, bears are getting squeezed out right now, right? Anybody that got into a short position, let me know in the comment section if anybody attempted a short position, because at the beginning of the stream, lots of, you know, lots of bearishness, including myself. Let me know in the comment section. Big, nice little V shape here. Big, nice little V shape from this drop of, you know, what was it, about almost $2,000. Almost $2,000 down, $2,000 up here on this V shape. We need to talk about, there is still the chance of a lower high. You know, the moment that we do take out the highs is where I'm going to be, you know, looking for, you know, the different possibilities. Let me know, anybody, in the comment section. Yes, I'm in a short position, says Live Updater. Short or long? I longed but got stopped out on the dump, says JJ. 0.88 hit. Wolf, you know, 0.88 is pretty aggressive level. But we've seen many 0.88 Fibonacci's get rejection. Right? 0.88 has been hit. Will the 0.88 be the one that gets rejected here? Not liking this kind of V shape, right? 0.88 can be that level of rejection, as we did get last week, guys. Who remembers how we rejected here from several 0.88s, right? We got the pivot high right there to the pivot low. When you get that squeeze up, you're getting the market squeezing up here, and then the 0.88, we did not take out this high, lower high, breakdown. Let's take a look at the CVD. Yeah, unfortunately, we're not getting any major bearish CVDs. It would be nice to see the CVD absolutely flying here and get those lower highs, get lots of longs entering, which there is a lot of longs entering, don't get me wrong. Ideally, you form a lower high here. Ideally, you don't take out that high. Ideally, you don't take out that high, because it wouldn't make too much sense, in my opinion, with the current structure. Bitcoin with its crazy moves. Very, very confusing kind of price action. I mean, the ideal scenario is that you actually form a lower high from here and then you start climbing down, but it's not the best short that I would be interested in, I have to say. Interesting price action. If the price were to break out here, it would be interesting to see the major levels of resistance. You know, I wouldn't be interested very much in a quick short position, I have to be honest here. The best level, without a doubt, well, you can see it right on the charts, okay, is the $86,000. $86,000, which is just a $2,000 away pump, guys. We just V-shaped in a $2,000 pump right now. Would be quite surprised if we do get up there, but we are still leaning on a high probability lower high scenario, you know, in this area. I wouldn't be too confident. If you ask me to jump into a short as soon as we sweep up the highs right over here. It's not a zone that I would be too confident to jump into the short. If you break out from here. Now, the main reason why the most interesting level is $86,000 is because we have a weekly level, We have the value area high of the trading zone. Value area high of this trading zone of the last couple of weeks. It would be the most, you know, you got the support resistance flip as well. And you also have the lower high resistance. You know, this is a kind of a bump and run scenario. You know, funny enough, the bullish case scenario, which I think is the one that has less probability, you know, we're still looking down to hit $81,000 in the next couple of days, regardless of the volatility that happens here. It's just going to be a complex correction. It's not going to be an easy ABC, right? Zigzag, happy days, three-wave structure. It's just getting very, very choppy and volatile. There's a flat in the middle here, possibly. Not an easy zone. But, you know, I have to be aware of the bullish case as well. Best zone, if we break out from this area that I would be looking at, is the weekly level. You know, if we squeeze out, I'm not really confident in getting into a short on the breakout. You know, there's no major SFP levels. Wouldn't be extremely confident here. Let's take a look at the pivot high to the pivot low here. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious that the best level to the upside after this volatility uptrend is without a doubt the golden pocket from last week's highs to the lows that we formed on Monday. The golden pocket is sitting where we have a weekly level. It is also the value area high of this trading zone, right? So it is without a doubt the best level of resistance that I would be interested in and eventually looking for the rollover. Okay, right now we do have a bit of volatility in this region. Not an easy range. You know, was expecting that this could have been the lower high here, but it was not. And now it looks like we want to squeeze out. So a little bit of an empty area here, which I would be remaining patient to get the squeeze out and head to $86,000 for any short positions. Okay, so no major quick shorts here in this area. After hitting today's highs, which we're just crossing at the moment. No easy shorts. There's a big gap of no volume. There's a possibility good recovery zone here. This could squeeze out. This is, you know, very, very lack of confluence in this zone. Not liking the possibility of a short here after, you know, a liquidity grab kind of scenario. Just a very, very hard short. You realize how empty this area is. So yeah, not looking too great here for any quick shorts. Now, the bullish case scenario, which in my opinion has the less probabilities, okay, but has to be talked about. We need to talk about it. I mean, you know, I'm a bump and run fan here, guys. Anybody that has been following the channel for a long time is a bump and run pattern, right? I mean, this bump and run pattern would only be in confluence with a bullish Elliott wave count, okay, where you have the bump phase that we did have throughout Friday and Saturday, consolidation and start of a recovery to the lower high resistance trend line from the lower highs that were created last Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, right, which is literally this consolidation that we have right over here. I would not be supporting this bump and run, in my opinion. I would not be supporting this bump and run. However, there is that bullish count that we did talk about, which is this one. I mean, this would be a relatively fast corrective structure. You're counting this as your A, B, and C wave. You know, I would be pretty surprised, but you know, this is not the kind of zone that I would be adding to short. You know, I wouldn't be going too crazy with short positions, just in case, just because there is a bullish count, even though for me it's the less probable scenario. But we don't, you know, there's a zone that I would be stay cautious on a pump here. And you know, I would not short the first pump into the zone, right? If it were to happen, because the price will slow down at some point, right? The price does tend to slow down at some stage to then get the reversal. So what you want to see is the price action slowing down in this area to then get the reversal. You know, there's just, it's not worth getting into a quick short, just like it's not worth getting into a quick long position throughout this downtrend. It's just, you know, eventually this is a scenario that we were very much expecting as a possibility, that we could capitulate down to the low 80K levels, which we did. And so this zone becomes a dangerous area for people that, you know, does not have a strategy, does not have good risk management, because this is a zone where people get wrecked. And regardless that we are leaning bearish more for a lower high in this region to happen, the price, there is a bullish count. There is a bullish scenario, which has the less probability scenario, guys. Even though there is less probability for this, the probability is there. So with this uptrend that we formed throughout the last few weeks, we do have a 5-wave move up in a contracting diagonal. We're looking at this as a ABC correction, coming down, almost hitting the golden pocket. We front run the golden pocket. I mean, this was disturbing. This is the whole main reason that I missed out on longing down here. Just not confident. You didn't hit the major levels. Was looking for slightly lower. So there is that bullish scenario. I mean, this is the whole point of the scenario, right? And this is the moment where, you know, if we do come up to the levels of resistance, you know, I am interested in that weekly level at $86,000. Very, very strong level. I am interested in the value area high of this trading zone of the last 2-3 weeks, which is sitting there. I mean, we are trying to pop out from the point of control here. There is a big high volume node, which is currently what is acting as resistance throughout today. Just want to be a little bit cautious in this area, because price could pop, right? You can see the lack of volume that there is on the chart in between 84,500 to 86,000. There is a lack of volume, as you can see on the volume profile. And, you know, where the price is struggling right now on Bitcoin is that level, which, you know, it could get rejected, right? There's no doubt about it. We could reject from this zone, but it's just, it's a popping zone, right? It's an area where the price could pop. Could get a little pop to 86K. I'm still leaning more bearish. It's just a little bit of a dangerous zone where price could pop out here and pump significantly, okay? Just for anybody that is looking for shorts, just to be aware that, you know, this is a zone where the price could actually get that little squeeze based on the lack of confluence. The price action did move down pretty fast throughout Friday in this area. And, you know, when you have fast price action, you leave a lack of volume and a lack of, you know, levels of confluence. That is the problem here. We're literally back at the barrier, right? You know, you can see here on the volume profile, there is that barrier here. but still could be, you know, choppy, and the price action just reverses from this zone. So, I mean, this is the resistance. It is the previous month close as well. When we do take a look at the previous month open, sorry, my bad. Trying to squeeze out from previous month open. There is a lack of confluence in this zone, unfortunately. So anybody that is looking to get into shorts, it's not an easy zone to short. Previous month open here with the 5-wave structure, speculating on an ABC flat here was not a bad short. We got the pullback, but we got a massive V shape throughout the dump. Quick V shape, and there is that correlation with the stock market getting that sweep of the lows of the zone, and now sweep of the highs. So sweep of the lows from the last couple of days, Monday, Tuesday, and now heading to the highs. And we do have this pretty nice correlation lately with the stock market. So Bitcoin could be squeezing out from here based off the lack of confluence. So dangerous zone at the moment for the shorts, guys. You know, I'm really not interested in shorting here this possible pump. The moment I would start to be interested in short positions is at the $86,000 range. If we cross through with a gigantic pump here, we want to be, I don't think it's going to be the case, but you always need to be aware that if the price rockets out, you know, there's just no shorts to be taken. It is extremely important for me to get the rejection at the weekly level, the golden pocket from pivot high, and this would be a zone where I want to see this being respected, either with a first rejection, either with a local double top. You might pump to the level, it corrects a little bit, and then you try and break it. You create that local double top. It's just the ideal zone to look for shorts right now, based on the lack of confluence, based on forming here a little bit of a double 1-2 scenario. You know, it could pop out in a third wave. So we did not manage to form a lower high. Ideal scenario here would have been getting that lower high here, continuing to the downside. This becomes the good long level. This is not happening. So up we go. We are breaking out from a level, from a zone where there's a lack of confluence. There is that risk of the double 1-2, boom, third wave, and it's popping out here very aggressively. Have to say, this dump and pump, guys, extremely difficult to get into a long position. I mean, unless you're getting into a sniper trade here on the previous week open, and previous month close. Look how well respected that previous week open and previous month close, previous week close, sorry, was getting respected here. Previous week open as well. Very, very difficult, very sniper, as the price is just collapsing, to get into a long right there. Obviously, your speculation is looking at this as a double 1-2 setup. Boom, third wave. Here we go. This is not a zone that I'm interested in looking for shorts, guys. Up we go by the looks of things. Holy moly, we started the stream bearish based on the news, stock market getting a pretty interesting V shape, followed by Bitcoin V shape as well. So next zone of interest, I have to say, there's no quick shorts here to be taken. Not FOMOing into a long position, basically realizing the overall trend. Don't want to FOMO into this long move. I want to check the reaction at the $86,000 range, which looks like we are heading to. No quick shorts in this zone, no quick longs, FOMOing here on the pump, I have to say. So not any, I mean, guys, the last few days for me have not been easy to get into trades. I have to say, you know, this has been, last 2 weeks have been awesome. last 2 weeks of trading have been absolutely awesome in this uptrend. But yeah, the last few days have been very difficult for me to look for high probability trading setups. Sometimes you need to get that breather and wait for some certain scenarios, right, to happen, certain levels to be hit, and get a clearer trading scenario. Let me know, guys. I did see some people in the comment section saying that they jumped into a short position. Holy moly. Holy moly. Yeah, it's not going to be, not going to be easy. This is a zone that I'm really not interested in doing anything, if I'm honest with you. Very, very empty gap of confluence. No major fibs. Weekly level, golden pocket from the high of last week to the low is the best area. It's the best area to wait for. So gonna be remaining patient for that zone, which I do think could be, we heading north, right? We started heading south at the beginning of the stream, and now we got a pretty decent V shape, pumping over almost $3,000 right now from the low that we created. 82.5, almost hitting 85, so $2,500 of a pump. Got a bit of a dumping pump. Let's go through the comment section. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to remain patient, guys. This is really a zone that I'm not interested in doing anything based on the lack of confluence. I don't want to FOMO into a long eventually, and I do not want to enter a short on the pump. So I need to wait for my levels of confluence, which eventually is the weekly level, the value area high of this trading zone, and the golden pocket from the highs of last week to the lows of today, right? Of yesterday, sorry. This is the best zone to wait for the price action to start getting a reaction, start losing some momentum. But whew, we do have a double 1-2 scenario here. Double 1-2 scenario. 1-2, 1-2. Looks like we are in, the possible third wave. I mean, I don't want to believe so, but this could actually rip and continue ripping. Who got into a short? Who got into a long? Let me know. I'm in no trade right now. Scooping up some alts. They are mad cheap. I've actually been buying some more ICP, guys. I have actually been buying a little bit of ICP. I do think ICP is an awesome project. And longs, here we go. This will be it. Everyone's expecting a crash down again. There is that bullish case scenario. That is very true. I think most of people are bearish, including myself. Most of people are leaning a little bit more on the bearish side. We do have the extreme bullish case scenario, which is this one right over here. Wouldn't say that this is it, guys. I wouldn't say this is it. This is, when we zoom out, this is just a little bit of a pump, okay? Nothing too crazy just yet. But we do have that bullish case scenario. I wouldn't get too excited, guys. We're still very much in a big fat range. Okay, possible triangle formation still. Nothing to get excited. We got some people already saying this is it, guys. Most are expecting lower. I do think that lower is still very likely. Okay, weekly level, point of control from the highs to the lows is the zone where we need to start finding some resistance. Okay, $86,000. $86,000 weekly level, point of control. We do not want to break up successfully from that area because it's also the value area high of this trading zone. We do not want to break out successfully from this area. So yeah, next level of interest is going to be that one. Some people saying that they did manage to get into a long. So a bullish case scenario here is that we formed a 5-wave contracting move. I am not leaning on this scenario, guys, even though the price is looking very bullish right now. We still very much had an aggressive move to the downside Okay. And yeah, this bullish case scenario is the lowest probability in my opinion. Okay, so despite this nice little V shape, I think we're going to find some resistance. Best level of interest is $86,000. Talking about altcoins are looking great. I mean, Ethereum did scoop up some Ethereum, guys. Ethereum getting a pretty nice little pump. I like this kind of price action on Ethereum. A little bit of a double bottom scenario. This area to DCA on Ethereum, I bought some Ethereum and some ICP. Okay, I have to say, just because they look pretty damn cheap. This area where you broke trend on Ethereum, right? You've broken trend. You've broken the resistance support flip. This is the classic spring point. It's the classic spring point. This is it, guys. We're breaking down. Well, you know, guess what? You know, this is the moment to sell. This is the moment to start buying, regardless if we do go to lower levels. So buying Ethereum at 1900, 1800, 1500, right? You know, even 1200. Not sure if we will get down there, but is just a very interesting DCAing zone. I didn't go too crazy, but I think Ethereum will come back on its feet, okay? And when we take a look at the sentiment, guys, this is extremely important to understand as well. The sentiment is like crap, okay? I want to ask the community right now, okay? What is your sentiment on crypto, basically, right? What is your on crypto? Bullish, reversal soon. I want to know, guys. Bearish. We are going lower. Let me know, guys, right away on the poll. What is your sentiment with crypto right away? Bullish, reversal soon. Bearish, we are going much lower. I want to know, what is your sentiment, guys? Make sure to get your votes in here. And it's going to be pretty interesting, because when you do take a look at the sentiment, okay, of uncertainty, right, where people lean to the bearish side, macroeconomic, the tariffs, it's not looking great. We have spiked up to above the C19 crash, guys, on the uncertainty index. This is absolutely crazy. I'm actually in the middle here. We have spiked up above the C19 crash, guys. You know what happened after the C19 crash, right? We got an epic reversal. I mean, this is the latest one. We obviously have Brexit here and other events. We just didn't quite see the massive crash just yet, right? The crash on the stock market, when we do take a look at the S&P 500, and we take a look at the daily chart, I mean, if this was the crash, then in 2022, we had a little bit more of aggressive events than this one, right? Was this the collapse? Was this it, guys? Was this the recession? Was this the stock market crash, which was a correction of 10%? I mean, it is a lot. 10% is a lot for the S&P 500, I have to say. But forming a little bit of a double bottom scenario. Not much. Basically it has been a correction, right? It's been more like a correction when you zoom out. So let me know the sentiment, guys. I want to know. I've actually scooped up some ICP as well. I've added a little bit more. I am down on this crypto. You know, my average entry price was $9-10. $9-10 on ICP was my average entry zone after this accumulation, right? After this zone. However, I like to see this as a corrective move. Massive impulse throughout October, November, December on ICP. And you know that this is like, I want to scoop up some here. I did not buy ICP in this range. I bought mainly Chainlink. And I think this is a beautiful zone to start scooping up. We are getting a little bit of that rounding formation, right? The selling pressure was, the aggressive selling pressure was throughout December, January, part of February, right? Throughout March, yeah, we didn't basically get too much of selling pressure throughout the cryptos, right? I think this is a good zone to DCA, guys. All right. You know, when we did pump, I was like, no, guys, not interested. This area right over here throughout October, November on the channel, we were altcoin hunting. Anybody that's a long-term subscriber knows that in October and November, the live streams were purely focused on altcoins. And we are going to get to that stage, guys, of accumulation. I like some price structures on major altcoins. This is not the moment to freak out, guys, and throw the towel. This is the moment to get in. It's the moment to start getting in. If we do get a black swan event, then we will take it as a present, right? We will take it as a present to scoop up. But this starts to becoming very interesting levels. When you lose a major low, guys, it's just the, yeah, this is the moment, right? Imagine being bearish right over here when it's your time to buy, right? Let's just go here with the replay on this price action throughout 2023. Imagine being bearish. Sentiment was like crap here on many altcoins, okay? A lot of people started coming into crypto throughout 2024. But imagine being bearish here, right? Imagine being bearish when you're losing the lows, right? It's like, yeah, we're just going to roll down here and go to much lower levels. Well, I mean, I'm not expecting anything like this to happen in a couple of weeks, but I do see a recovery at some point throughout 2025. So you get the deal. You get the deal, right? When you lose a major low and you start seeing the selling pressure getting a little bit exhausted, I wouldn't say it's not a huge range, but it's already a zone that it is good to consider DCAing, guys. DCAing. Let's go through the comment section and see what's going on the poll here, because Bitcoin to $500,000. I hope so. I will be very happy if it does. Pump it, guys. This is it, says Jerry. We're getting lots of people being extremely bullish. My sentiment on crypto is like, I'm not sure if I should read this comment out loud. My man Seb. You forget 𝗖. Yeah, 𝗖 as well. I haven't scooped up more 𝗖 just because I'm happy with the bag that I have. But yeah, I mean, this is where it happens, guys. This is where we're looking for the bottom formation. Very aggressive selling zone throughout December, January, and it's slowing down right now. The lower lows become very, very shallow lower lows, guys, and this is the moment that you look for the bounce. Okay, so yeah, DCAing 𝗖, absolutely would consider it. You know, this is the moment that we're wedging, guys. We like the wedging structure. This is the moment that you wedge. And this is the moment that you need to get in, because the opportunities, you know, are now, right? Not when everybody's bullish and everybody's like, yay, we're back. We're back. We're back. We're so back. Boom, back down. You know, we're going to try and DCA out on the pump, just to stay in the defensive side. But I'm happy to say now, guys, when the sentiment is feeling like crap, that this is the moment to start DCAing. I did actually buy some Ethereum and ICP the last couple of days. So it's just a good zone, guys. This is the moment where it's all feeling like very, very bad. Remember, guys, you can buy ICP, you can buy many other altcoins, you can trade different altcoins on Bybit. For me, Bybit has always been #1 crypto trading platform, guys. Make sure to take advantage of the bonus down below. Bybit for me is #1. A great alternative is Weeks, because Weeks just requires an email and a password to sign up, guys. They're not getting any information. You do get 50% deposit bonus on Weeks. Take advantage, because also you get 25% fee reduction when you sign up with a link down below, guys, on all your trades. Take advantage on that bonus on Weeks, guys. It's the second link. Take advantage right away with Weeks. Bitcoin getting a little bit of a move up here. People are getting excited. This is it. This is it. Woo. I'm interested in looking for shorts, guys. I have to be honest. But not yet on this pump. You know, giving a little bit of a chance on this pump for the bulls to share, you know, show a little bit of strength. Come on, let's get to 86K. Let's see if we do manage to get up there. And this would be the zone that I'm expecting the price to struggle, right? This is the zone where we have a lot going on. We have a weekly level. We have the golden pocket. We have the value area high of the trading zone of the last few weeks, basically March price action. This is the moment where price needs to prove itself, right? Prove itself that it's going to pop out, right? But this is the area where I would be interested in analyzing the reaction, okay? We do have a bullish case scenario, which is this contracting move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, which is not the most beautiful ABC scenario, okay? But there's, you know, there's actually a valid bullish case. There is actually a valid bullish case scenario. Are you leaning on this bullish case? We've actually formed a valid double 1-2 setup, and to get into this long position, guys, it was, you're basically catching a low. You're basically catching the falling knife, right? This is, you know, we did bounce at that previous week close, as mentioned. You know, pretty interesting. We did have the previous week open and previous month close exactly at that level. Previous month open got resistance today, and the previous month close got support. Always take into consideration, guys, you know, with your analysis, previous week highs, previous week closes, previous month as well. They do act as very good resistance and support on the charts. So yeah, previous week open eventually being in April, in confluence with that previous month close, getting that bounce. Very sniper, very aggressive, long position on the dump, where you do get that V shape. You know, not the kind of trading I would rather, you know, I always like to get into liquidity grab scenarios, but there is a valid count. I mean, this has to be the third wave. It needs to continue pumping, because if this is not going to continue pumping in the next coming hours, I would eventually be expecting a major pullback, right? But there is that valid count, guys. There is a valid extreme bullish case, and if the price just continues to the upside, what we got here is a multiple 1-2 setup, right? Which is a 1-2, 1-2, 3 is on the formation. Now this third wave needs to prove itself in the next coming hours, which I do not think is going to happen, guys. You know, we're not that bullish. We are not that bullish, so nothing to be excited about just yet. But it can prove itself. Let's take a look at the poll here, see what the community are saying. Like I said, in this area, I am not interested. Not interested in FOMOing into a long. You know, I realize the bearish case scenario as well. Realize the bearish case. This is really an empty zone. It's an empty area. So no time to FOMO into longs, there's no major resistance just yet to get into a short. So we're just going to have to wait, guys. You know, for me, trading is all about waiting for certain levels to be hit. And that weekly with the golden pocket is a very interesting level of resistance. You know, this would be a possible instant scalp short as well. Try and break out the weekly, reject, sniper short. It would be an aggressive one to get into because it's a big level. It is a big level that I do expect the price to get some kind of reaction, okay? $86,000. Let's see. Let's go through the comment section, say hello to the beautiful community, what people are saying here on the votes. Not too many votes, guys. What's going on with the like button? Let's refresh here and see how many likes we do have. Not being an easy, guys. Not being easy. Whoever's been a long follower here through the last several months and several weeks. I had an awesome few weeks of trading, and the last few days, I'm like waiting for levels, waiting for higher probability scenarios. And it's been, for my trading style and my type of trading, for me, it's been very difficult to enter a trade in this price action. Very difficult to enter with my style of trading. Maybe you guys are more aggressive, right? Maybe some people shorted or longed, or I don't know. But for me, it's been very disturbing. Lots of overlaps, lots of choppiness. Looking for a possible reversal in this zone, front running all of the major levels that we had here. So it's just things that happen. So you just need to remain patient, right? Sometimes trading becomes boring. People that have the rush to get into shorts or longs or FOMOing in, or this is it, right? Or not having a proper strategy. The bears are having a bad time right now, right? Whoever's shorting with high leverage, I think, there is a bullish case. We just need to remain patient to see how the price develops. And as explained, we are pumping out of a big gap of no confluence, right? You need to understand this. Anybody that is looking to short in this area needs to understand that there is a big gap of no confluence. This is why, for me, shorting in this zone is not an option. I don't want to FOMO into a long. I would just say, miss this pump. Very hard to catch this drop. This was a dumping pump related with the news. So now we wait for the next level of resistance where we could start getting some reactions, start to lose momentum, which is the $86,000 range. Always being aware and managing risk of the extreme bullish case scenario, which is forming a double 1-2 here, and we are in the third wave. You need to really be patient, wait for reactions, have invalidations, and of course the weekly level is the guideline here. This is the guideline. Any rejection beneath the weekly becomes an interesting possibility of a short. Anything above that weekly level could flip as support, and then we rock it, guys, and everybody's going to be like, or the bears, not everybody, the bulls will be very happy that have longed throughout the last 2 days, just holding that long position for the breakout. And bears that are not managing risk and are not remaining patient are going to be like, wow, what the heck has happened, right? I was not expecting that breakout. I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. You never know. We do have a valid 1-2 setup here at the moment. I don't think it's going to be the scenario. I think we will lose steam into the 86K zone. And this is the moment where we're probably going to start consolidating and getting some rejections, double top kind of price action, a bit of a range formation. You do lose the momentum before you reverse. Anything that is like V-shapes, for me, it's not not a trading environment, right? I am very, very patient, and I want to see very, very clear signs to trigger a trade, guys. You know, that the market is here to take money off you, not to give you money, right? Here you go, right? So yeah, interesting zone here. Let's go. I want to take a look at the poll right away and see what is your current sentiment on crypto right now. Bullish, reversal soon. There's actually 58% of people out of over 400 votes that are actually, you know, pretty optimistic, right? They do see the bearish sentiment that there is, and they are looking for a reversal soon. 42% still bearish. We are going much lower. Likes at all-time high. Guys, I'm going to just take a quick hike right away because I need that like button to at least get to 500 likes. I'll tell you what, if we do get to 500 likes, we're going to do a giveaway. We'll do a giveaway. Will it be $100? Will it be $500? Let's get to 500 likes and then we'll do a giveaway, guys. Let's see if we do pump that like button. I'm just going to take a quick hike and come back and see how many likes we do have on the stream, guys, and then we'll do a giveaway. And analyze Bitcoin very carefully. We're going to do some other analysis here. For the moment, we are aware of the bullish case. Let's analyze the lower time frame price action, because the most bullish case scenario is a 112 here, guys. And not saying that I'm leaning more on that scenario. I'm just aware that it could happen. You got two very similar waves, which could be a 112. And we are on the formation of the third wave. Let's see. Let's see. Pretty nice reversal here. I'm going to go and take a quick hike and see if that like button is getting to 500. Let's go. A drink of water. My goodness, guys. My goodness. Not an easy trading few days for me. Easy to find, to detect good different options, guys. The last 2 weeks were absolutely awesome. Basically got in all of the higher lows throughout this uptrend. You know, managed to get into all of the higher lows, detecting very well the correction. But this price action was extremely disturbing, very overlappy, very volatile. I was not in the zone here. I was in the zone here, here. A little bit here, managed to catch a quick little scalp and profited. Missed out on the short that we were very much aware of, the capitulation. Missed out on this big move. You know, sometimes you're not going to catch them all, guys. You're not going to catch them all like Pokemon. Got to catch them all. So, you know, last few days, didn't catch a few trades. What major pump we are getting, legends. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Holy moly. People, I think a lot of the bears are not aware of the bullish case. The market, you know, the map changes, guys. You can see how quick the map changes, because at the beginning of the stream, I was leaning, you know, I was leaning more on the possibility of the bearish case, looking at an ABC here, flat. But this higher low changed the map completely. Bulls took control in this higher low, you know, giving that potential of a big third wave on the formation now. So this is how quick things can change. Let's go through the comment section. Why is my Litecoin not pumping? Michael29. My Pokemon card portfolio has been doing better than my crypto portfolio. Very true. Bears are in disbelief. Yeah. Bears are in disbelief without a doubt. without a doubt, you know, it was leaning on the possibility of the bearish case, guys. We still need to break out from the weekly level, okay? Like I said, this is going to be this will be the level of the breakout, okay? The moment we dance around at the value area high of this trading zone, let's take a look at the value area high from here. Well, not from here, but from here. Yeah. This will be the area. Let's put the volume profile. We got an interesting spike here on the volume profile. It's very close to the weekly level. Well, not that close, if you ask me. Not that close. We're coming up to the $86,000 zone. Oh, price is looking pretty damn strong. Price is looking pretty damn strong. We need to see some kind of, you know, reaction. Start getting some little wicks here. Because if the price does not stop, we're in a massive third wave, guys. You know, the third wave here is without a doubt a possibility. We don't want to get too bullish on the pumps, guys. We don't want to FOMO, but I just realized the 112 scenario here. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be the case. But for the moment, it is just squeezing out. What is the stock market doing? Yeah, nothing too... It did bounce pretty nicely, but it's already reacting at this zone. Weekly level, value area high, golden pocket. It's the next zone, guys. Here's where I want to see the price chilling out for a little bit. And then I will decide on possible shorts depending on the reaction. So, but yeah, the fact that this price action changed the map completely. And I want to see this as the possibility of this could still be a double zigzag. It could still be part of a correction, guys. Okay, so what we do have here, if momentum starts losing steam here, right, we do hit the weekly, we do hit 86k, or even we start losing momentum here in this area, what there is a possibility of happening is getting a WXY, right? There's either the extreme bullish one, which this pump should really continue, right? For the bulls to be confident that this is going to break out, which I am not too confident yet here, guys. I have to say, I do think that we can top out. But the bearish case would be a WXY, and I'm gonna map that scenario right now as we speak here. Because yeah, when you zoom out, it's not a massive, you know, for the bulls, this has to be a third wave. This has to be part of a third wave formation if this is going to be a double 1 2 1 2 3, right? You don't want to get major corrections down here, because then obviously what we could be looking at then is it's losing steam and leaning on the bearish side. If this is a multiple 1 2, you're inside of the third wave. Third wave, you want it to be the largest pump. You want it to absolutely continue with the steam here. If we are looking for this to be a third wave, 1 2 3 4 5, you got the 1 2 3 and then another 4 and another 5. yeah, you want the price to just continue rolling here to the upside. Yeah, interesting level here. 1.618 extension from this movement is sitting just above the weekly, so it would make sense to get a reaction at 86,100, guys. It would make sense to get a quick rejection at that level. It would be an interesting scalp. Any aggressive traders, I don't want to FOMO into a long position right now. Price is really just pumping and pumping. There's no corrections on the 1 minute time frame. It's just grinding to the upside. Major grind. Don't want to FOMO into a long on these little pullbacks. Kind of not worth it, because you realize that the correction can happen. So yeah, it's not worth doing anything here, in my opinion. Just a very, very quick V shape, guys. What a V shape after the dump, after the news. Woof. Waiting patiently for this area. So yeah, what is interesting about this, if it were to be a 112, most commonly, let's just map the situation here right now. Then we'll talk about the bearish case. You got your 1, 2, and you're still forming your third wave, then 4 and 5 eventually. If this is a 112, where you at right now is in the third wave of your second 1-2. Most commonly, you would hit the 1.618 extension from your second wave 1 and 2. If it were to be a third wave, what is interesting about the 1.618 extension here is where you have the weekly level. It's where you have the golden pocket from the highs of last week, right? And the lows of this week, right? On Monday. Golden pocket, 1.618 extension from your latest wave. Weekly level is just a full recipe to get a rejection at 86,100 here, guys. I think it would be aggressive scalp. But a $400-500 move to the downside, very, very likely, at least at a bare minimum here. Anybody that wants to catch a 1.618 extension, weekly rejection, is the zone to speculate. It could actually double top scenario. Could happen as well. But it is the level here. It's the level for rejection. I would take it as a scalp, because third waves can really pop out. Okay, there's no 1.618 extension is like a minimum target for a third wave. So, third waves can go to the 2.618 extension. There's no real target for a third wave. Third waves can be as large as you want. So you just need to be a little bit cautious here on this confluence area. Now let's talk about the bearish case and what we would need to see for the bearish case scenario here. Because, yeah, this is, we don't want to get too bullish, guys, just yet. Okay, with a nice little pump, pretty aggressive. But if we start losing momentum right now and this third wave does not get to its minimum target zone, or it's not really a minimum target, it's the most common target area, which is the 1.618, then, we need to start thinking about the bearish case, right? And what would be the bearish case? Well, when we do zoom in, we do realize that this movement down could have been a 5-wave move to the downside, right? Was leaning still on the possibility of a flat. We did get the rejections from the highs. We did get some rejections here. However, they came back up to the highs. So as you come back up to the highs, you're just not interested in being in that short anymore, right? If you come back to the level of entry, You're just not interested in holding any shorts here. You know, this is extremely dangerous. As mentioned, you know, throughout the stream, if we break out from this area, whoever's holding a short is going to be, you know, could get wrecked. It's, you know, it's a moment where I understand where I do not need to be in a short position. You know, if I'm looking for shorts, if we break out certain zones, right, we got above all of this area where there's just no confluence. It's an empty area. So whoever's looking for short positions in this zone, after breaking the highs, after breaking certain levels of resistance, this is not a zone to, you know, be in a short, period, right? It's just aware of the bullish case as well. You need to be aware of both scenarios, right? You can never be too bullish or too bearish. You realize, okay, now there's higher probability for this, now there's higher probability for that, right? The map changes, and it did change on stream. On stream, you know, with this drop, it was like, unless we form a double 1-2 here, then, you know, if we lose this low, it becomes highly likely that we do continue to the downside, right? But we formed a higher low. As we formed a higher low, you know, you have the multiple 1-2 setup, right, in the third wave breakout, which is what you know is happening. You cross the empty gap, you've crossed the highest volume node from this range of the last few weeks. If you cross this zone, well, you get this, right? So this becomes a no shorting zone until you hit the next resistance area, which is eventually 86K, as you know, where you have the value area high, you have the weekly, you have the golden pocket from the drop. That is where the price could get a reversal. And you need to wait for that zone to be hit and realize the choppiness that could be created, or the rejection at the confluent zone. You know, that's my only level of interest to speculate on a short right now. And it's very important to understand how we get to that level, right? You want to see the choppiness. You want to see the first rejection. You realize that you could double top next. You're managing risk always. You get the reversal, perfect. You're profiting, right? But in this area, there's nada. There's nothing. When you drop down fast, guys, it's extremely important to understand. When you drop down fast, I realize that the areas that I'm not interested in longs or shorts, and in this area, as explained on the stream, you know, I'm not interested in this zone for a short. I would be looking for the next area of resistance, proven resistance zone, which is proven support, as we did see here. It could be a support resistance flip, right? So yeah, that becomes the next zone. If the price out of nowhere rejects from here, then it's like, okay, well, right, well, it is what it is, right? I did have a couple of scenarios throughout the last few days. It's just not been an easy to enter a trade. You know, for me, it hasn't been easy to enter a good trade here. Where last week was extremely good. You know, last 2 weeks has to be one of the best couple of weeks of my trading throughout the last year, because very, very good entries at certain levels. This one got stopped out, and on this double bottom based on the contracting move. Was interested in the short, but I was sleeping anyway, so wouldn't got into the short anyway. But this was a scenario. I hope some people did manage to get into a short, even though it was not easy. Not an easy short here in this zone. I hope some people did, just because we had this drawing, guys, on a stream. We had the drawing of this being an A, B, C, or a 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter, but looking for a capitulation move to come down to the low 80K levels. And the drawing was like that. I shared it on the previous stream, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, just aware of the swing movements that could happen. So anyway, let's talk about the bearish case here, guys. Not going to get too excited. There is a bearish case scenario eventually. You know, the thing about this movement is this could be bearish, but it could also be a bullish correction. Right? It's just that's the zone that we are in right now, where yes, this does look pretty damn impulsive to the downside. However, it also can be a valid count as an ABC. And you also have the contracting move to the upside, which is this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC. Hey, what if the price decides to break out? It is possible, right? Let's leave it that way. Let's leave it that way, that it is a possibility. However, there is the bearish case, right? This ended up being pretty impulsive, right? There is a valid 5-wave count to the downside. If this is going to be bearish, what are the scenarios? Well, we need to zoom in here on the lower time frames to see how the hell we moved up here. For the moment, it is looking pretty damn bullish as the price is just ripping here. And we have the 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. You know, you get the deal, right? Price just crushes throughout resistance. But the bearish case scenario would be a double zigzag, which is literally looking at this, which we are going to turn in red here, where you have a zigzag move here. You have the corrective move here in your X, and now you have another zigzag here. It's the only bearish case scenario, and let's just out of curiosity, we're probably crossing already the target zone, which is the 1236 Fibonacci. Oh no, we're just about to hit it. Just about to hit the 1236, which is at 85,500. The most common area for your WXY double zigzag 1236 zone, which is just about to hit it. This is the only way to count this as a correction. You could have hit the $86,000 range. It's okay. This is the common target zone. It doesn't mean that this has to be the target in reverse for a double zigzag, but it's the common zone. Could you squeeze out to the 1382, which is at 86K? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Most commonly in between 1-to-1 and the 1236. And this is how you would have to count this instead of the bullish case, which is a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We absolutely going to rip here in the next coming hours. You would want to see that third wave squeeze out a little bit more. Well, if you're going to count this as the bearish case, this is the one. This is the one. You got an impulsive move down in a 5-wave. And now you have your WXY double zigzag. And you can go on the lower time frames and you can see it for yourself. Where you have the low here printed on Monday. And this is a higher low. On most of the exchanges, Bybit did hit that low, but most of the exchanges it was a higher low. So what you do have here is the movement, the correction, and the movement up. It's a zigzag move. It's a zigzag move here, right? You got a 3-wave move. Then you have the correction, which is this one. And then you have the zigzag move here. So it's a double zigzag. Zigzag in W, zigzag in Y. The X is always, the shortest kind of in timing correction, kind of in the middle. And the most common target area for your double zigzag is 1-to-1 to the 1236. So this would be it. This would be it. The bearish case scenario. you're kind of in the middle of no man's land, unfortunately, right now. Right? Because, you know, the main reason why I did not long here on Monday is because I was waiting for a daily level. I was waiting for the point of control from the pivot low to the pivot high. I think most, you know, maybe, you know, this is pretty basic stuff, but I think a lot of people were waiting for the golden pocket because golden pocket is very much weighted by many traders. So you had a golden pocket. There was a daily level as well down there, and you know, I missed long in this area. We front run the level, and something similar could happen here, where yes, guys, the best level to short is the weekly level, the golden pocket from this pivot high of last Monday. To the lows. Sorry, was this Monday? Yeah, this was Monday, the highs, last Monday's highs to Monday lows. And yeah, this has to be it, guys, right? Value area high. This is the resistance, legends. This is the resistance where we have the confluence, weekly level, golden pocket, value area high of this trading zone of the last few weeks. And then the price does this. And you're like, okay, all right. Well, you know, I missed shorting the top here. I missed the you know, it's just been it hasn't been easy, guys. I have to say, it hasn't been an easy couple of days for me. When you've been trading for many years in your career, no matter how much experience you have, you will be in the zone for maybe a few weeks, and usually when you're in the zone, you will come to a period where you're like you're 2-3 days analyzing the several scenarios, and the price will mix you up, right? Which is, it doesn't matter because you just don't trade, right? You don't trade because, you know, if your levels and your plans are not respected, then you just don't trade, right? Because it's all about creating plans. And but you'll always come to that stage in your trading career where, wow, I'm just absolutely nailing it, you know, very easy reading the market, the sentiment. And there will be a moment where, after being in that really good stage, that your plans are not respected, right? Your trading plans, because it doesn't matter, you just wait, you just don't trade, or you wait for the price to form another range or hit other levels. You just wait, right? You just don't trade. There's no FOMO, there's no nothing, right? You just wait for the next plan. And you know, there is that period, and I've had that period in this zone where I'm like, you know, not quite, you know, the price action hasn't been getting to my levels. It hasn't been getting to my plans. And it doesn't matter because you just don't trade, but you want to trade, but you just wait for the next scenario, right? You just wait for the next scenario. So anyway, the bearish case, which is, yeah, it is tricky, is a WXY here, is a double zigzag. This has been the end of a, you know, and also that there is those stages where you have a bullish and a bearish case mixed up together, right? And there is actually, even though it doesn't look highly likely, the possibility of this movement down. And we don't want to get too excited, guys. We're still inside of this range and inside of this area. We need a lot to be proved here. But it's basically a symmetrical triangle formation. We are in bearish market structure still, despite this little pump that we got today. And, you know, this is still bearish environment, right? It's still bearish environment. And I'm still leaning a little bit more bearish, regardless this nice little pump and this nice hype, right, that we got. And this is it, guys. Let's all you know, FOMO, and let's, you know, this is it for crypto. It's the reversal sign. We need to chill out, zoom out and understand where we're at. And we're still very much in this downtrending, and we are forming a symmetrical triangle here throughout the last few weeks. So still downtrending, unfortunately, but it is the truth. However, interestingly enough, there is a bullish case scenario of this being the end of the correction, even though it's not highly likely in my opinion, just how we created that low as well in a three-wave structure. But there is a bullish count where the low is in. I don't want to get people excited, okay, but there is a valid count. If there is a valid count, then you just need to take it into consideration, which would be this one. It's a finished WXY, right? And it's a double zigzag as well, where you have a zigzag here, you have your X wave, and then you have another zigzag starting from here, which is the low, the bounce, and another low. It's just a normal zigzag ABC. Not liking it too much, I have to say. I like more the other scenarios that look highly more likely. There's either this one as well, which is a ABC move, large ABC move, where you have an expanding move here, then your B wave. This, this is the correction. There's no doubt about it. On all the scenarios, this is a correction. And then you have the contracting move, right? You have the contracting move here, which is eventually taking out 76K. That's one of them. And then you have the triangle scenario. Then you have this one right over here. And this is the most bearish one. They're all corrective, which leans to a big recovery happening at some point, okay? They're all mainly corrective, which leans for a pretty epic pump in the next coming weeks. This one still looks very, very juicy. And this is simplified on a zigzag move here. And now you're forming a large triangle, which eventually is part of a correction continuation pattern, right? That finally breaks down. This leans more highly likely right now just because it's more symmetrical as well in timing. So, but for all of the bulls out there, there is a valid count, right? There is a valid count where you have the finished WXY. You formed a contracting move 5-waver ABC. This is it. This is it. Get your moon boots on, guys. Yeah, and this is the thing, right? This is the thing. When you come to this price action that for me was very, very, very good for trading. Got into really nice long positions throughout the last couple of weeks here. When you come to this point, it's okay, I have a bullish case, and simplified, I want to be cautious with where I enter my trades these days. I don't think this is the highest probability scenario, but there is that probability. This eventually is the end of the correction, and you have a 5-wave move to the upside. You've corrected down almost to the golden pocket. There is a valid ABC count here. Not very interesting because you do have an extra wave here, which is disturbing, right? It's it is disturbing. So, and then you have the bearish scenario, right? Which is still part of the triangle. And you still need to form another wave down to claim this low in your D wave potentially, right? I don't think the D wave would be this one. But yeah, you would want to see a bit more of a zigzag scenario here and then a bounce. This is why longing down here is without a doubt an option. It's a very good option. We've got daily level, weekly level, value area low of this trading zone, the golden pocket to the 7-8, which is common target from triangles, okay? Your C wave here, did reject at the golden pocket from the pivot high of your A wave to the pivot low of your B wave. Golden pocket from this pivot high to this pivot low was respected here very nicely. With that theory, if you do come down in a zigzag, there's two major levels very common for a triangle, which is the 7/8 or the golden pocket. So eventually with that theory, if you are still going to be ranging from that pivot low of your B wave to your C wave, golden pocket becomes your option, which we ever so slightly front runned. We ever so slightly front run that level, the golden pocket. But golden pocket and 7/8 are very common. So this is why, I mean, it would make sense that you could break down the golden pocket, but then you actually hold USFP from these lows, 7/8 Fibonacci. You know, this would be a perfect kind of structure. So a zigzag down, you know, would still be interested in the long positions in this area. We'll just have to be a little bit careful eventually. So yeah, it's just higher time frames. You know, you got too many scenarios. That's the problem. Too many scenarios, and these too many scenarios are leaning on too many scenarios on the lower time frame as well. The problem that we do have right now with this move is that it can be counted as an ABC, but it can be counted as an impulsive move 5 wave, which is counted much better. So not too bullish just yet, legends. Not too bullish just yet till we actually smash out through this $86,000, $87,000 range where I do see a heavy rejection. So yeah. The problem is here, we're in no man's land, a bit of an empty area. But if we were to reject here very aggressively throughout the next coming hours, you know, just not happy and shorting right now. I would be happier to short at the levels of resistance. And we're just a bit in no man's land at the moment. And as we are no man's land, I understand the pump, which we did have here. So yeah. But if we were to reject out of nowhere from this area, I would have to come to that conclusion that I explained before, which was a WXY here, double zigzag, where you do have the zigzag here, the correction, and you have the zigzag here. It's just not an, you know, it's just not an easy short. There's a lack of confluence here to get into a short. So yeah, in a nutshell, you know, you might be like, well, where the heck are you looking at? Well, it's the weekly level, right? It's the weekly level. It's the golden pocket. You know, could we front run this zone? Absolutely. I'm waiting patiently for that zone. You know, there's, you know, some levels will be hit. Some trade setups will be hit. The last few days, the zone of interest was from the pivot low to the pivot high, golden pocket, daily level. It all front runned. It all front runned a big cluster. You didn't even sweep up this higher low, right? Which is eventually what you want to see as well, liquidity grabs. And that would be in the interest for the long. Sometimes it happens. You front run the levels. So now I'm interested in this area. Could it front run the level? Well, I have to say, well, it's not been a great few days, right? It's just not, you know, no major trades. Short like a boss, says Jerome. Short like a boss, yeah. Short like a boss. I mean, it would be interesting to see how we are developing the lower time frames here. But anyway, the higher time frame scenarios, I hope they are pretty clear. Short like a boss. Yeah, we are getting a little bit of a slowdown here. We are getting a little bit of a slowdown. The pump has lost the momentum. So maybe this does become the moment of rejection. Short like a boss. Yeah, I mean, I'm very, very responsible with the trading setups. Nice stream, says Akraf. Thank you very much. Much love to everybody. Fake pump below 80K tomorrow. Fake. Oh yeah, somebody's saying fake pump and we're going to 80K tomorrow. Yeah, we're still leaning on the possible bearish case scenario. Okay, it was looking good, exciting. But this is what we got here now. Price is losing momentum, and if this were to be bullish, we need to see this third wave not starting to break down from here. If we start losing this high, then the multiple 1-2 setup is literally invalidated. I would not lean on the side of 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 here, just because this latest move, if this is a third wave, we need to continue here. Small little grinds back up. If this is still your third wave, it needs to continue grinding. The moment we correct down beneath this high, the multiple 1-2 setup is not going to be looking good. You know, you're literally invalidating it. And as this has been the largest move, when you look at multiple 1-2 scenarios, the waves, the second, third waves need to be smaller or similar to the previous one. The moment you get one of them that could be the third wave, but it fails to go to much higher levels, this no longer has high probability to be a third 1-2. And the main reason why is because it's the largest wave out of the first 1-2s. And with the theory of your second, third 1-2s need to be smaller or similar. All right, these two are similar. I would buy this, that this is a double 1-2. The moment you start losing this pivot low, yeah, it's not, you know, then I would say, okay, guys, this was the WXY double zigzag. And it's going to be interesting to analyze the movement up to then look for the short. I mean, and sometimes you get elevator down, you just collapse down, right? Sometimes it's not easy to get and jump into a short, but this would be a clear sign of weakness. Then this no longer becomes the third wave, because third wave needs to go. It needs to go. It needs to go. Go, 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 go. Continue. It seems like it is failing ever so slightly right now. You know, not managing to move up and continuing. As long as you stay above this high, so yeah, that's something interesting to take note here. We almost hit the 1-2-3-6 on this double zigzag speculation. New price action. Just about scratched the 1-2-3-6. This is a common zone for a double zigzag. There's two zigzags here with the break of the correction in your X wave. There's two zigzags. This is why it's called double zigzag, and this is your common target area for the double zigzag, meaning that, yeah, false alarm, guys. Falsa alarma. I was going to say it in Spanish. False alarm, guys. This is impulsive. This ended up being corrective. It's time to roll down. Let's go. Someone saying here, shorting like a boss. I mean, this would be an aggressive short. You would want to manage risk. You know, the thing is, you know, if you short here, you need to have a stop loss, right? I do not enter trades if I don't have stop losses, if I don't have a clear invalidation. You know, and if I do, you know, if you jump into a short here, put a stop loss here, then, you know, just take the shot, take the chance. But I don't see it as a good trade. You know, this is why but if you can go small. I mean, if you do start pulling back here very aggressively, then you literally catch the high for this potential double zigzag. It's just not a great zone in my opinion. Let's go. Somebody in the comment section saying short like a boss. It will be interesting because, you know, the price action gives you, the map changes every time, right? Especially when we're doing lower time frames here. You know, it didn't even SFP from this lower high. Come on. It did not even SFP from this lower high. Come on, Bitcoin. Maybe a double top later would be interesting. If we come back up and we test today's highs with this lower high from Friday, it actually would be interesting to speculate on this WXY. I would love to see that liquidity. I mean, this would be for me a valid short. This would be a valid short right there. SFP from those lower highs of last Friday. With the theory that this is incredibly impulsive leading market to the downside. Yeah, this is one that I would consider it as a short. With the theory of the double zigzag. Zigzag, zigzag. Correction in the middle with the X, which is hitting the common target zone, which is the 1 to 1 to the 1236 fib extension, right? But yeah, it would have been nice to get that liquidity grab at those highs. So yeah, this is an option. Or alternatively, we reject down pretty aggressively. So we get the confirmation aggressive dump, right? This volatility has been pretty mad, guys, throughout the news, right? We got the dump and then the massive pump. If we do break down from here, that's going to be a clear sign of weakness. There's no longer going to be a double 1-2 scenario here. I will not count this as a triple 1-2 because it's been the largest wave. And your third or second or third 1-2, you know, does not make sense to be the largest, right? Then forming a higher low here is highly unlikely. You're probably going to break down already. So it will be interesting to check the bounce if we do get one. If we do lose this pivot, then the 50% golden pocket from this pivot will be interesting for the short. And then this is it, guys. We roll down. So it's just understanding as well where the best opportunities lie. Okay, so if we front run this level, then so be it. I realize that this is a sign of weakness. This could be a double zigzag. Losing this low right over here, this higher high, sorry, would be a confirmation for me to say, okay, this is it. This is no longer a double 1-2, and this is a third wave. Third wave should have gone higher. You're going to start overlapping here. So there's no longer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is no longer possible. So you instantly flip to the zigzag, correction, zigzag scenario. So I want to see that bounce. We know that we do get elevators down, guys. So, you know, waiting for that corrective move, you know, might not happen, but it would be the ideal scenario, right? Would be ideal. The bounce is going to be crucial because if this starts to be an impulsive move down, we are looking for 5 waves down. So you would expect the first move down to find some kind of stop, and then the next leg is going to be the brutal one, which is the third wave, right? And then 5th wave. And that's what you would want to see. That's what you would want to see here. So yeah, it's going to be analyzing the first wave down, start breaking here. The resistance support flips. This will no longer be a multiple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And you need to lean on the WXY double zigzag. But as long as you're above that high, you know, I would give a chance here for a double top. I would give a chance for the corrective move. It's going to be an easy trade, a very easy trade to manage. Liquidity grab from this level, still giving a possibility for the double zigzag. It's going to be an easy trade to manage. You get above this level, let it go. You instantly reject, it's going to be a bit of a sniper. So it could be the one that actually rejects strongly. Very easy to manage type of trade. And we want the easy risk management trades, not the hard ones. And if we start losing all of this, then the bounce is going to be the interesting scenario. Okay, the bounce will be the interesting one because we want to be in the third wave down. So yeah, hopefully you have enjoyed a little bit of this explanation, guys. It all really is mapping the scenarios, right? And there's no rush to get into a trade. There's never a rush to get into a trade, right? Somebody was saying short like a man. Or, you know, if you want to short or long like a man, right? Get aggressive, all in, baby. You know, with no proper strategy reading of the market. Well, you do have the best exchanges out there, guys. For me, the number one is Bybit. Okay, Bybit has been in the game for a long time, very highly liquid. They, you know, for me, they are the number one, either Binance or Bybit, of course. But Bybit for me has been, you know, the top-notch crypto exchange. You do get $30,000 deposit bonus. There is a great alternative to Bybit, which is Weeks, guys. Weeks, you just need an email and a password to sign up, all right? Email and password, you do get 50% deposit bonus. It's a $1,000 cap, okay, of a bonus. Take advantage of this. You deposit $2,000, you're getting $1,000. After 48 to 72 hours, once you transfer that deposit into your futures account, this bonus is very likely going to end soon, guys. So take advantage. You get some extra cash inside Weeks, okay, on your deposit. And you also get a 25% fee reduction with the second link down below, guys. Okay, second link on Weeks. They do list many altcoins as well. Let's see how the price develops, guys. Like I said, interested in shorting, but it will have to be either a local double top, possible, very good sniper, very easy to manage. If you break above the highs, then up we go. Weekly level is going to be interesting. It could be a quick rejection right over there of a, you know, $500, $600 little scalp that could end up in a larger pullback. So eyeing this zone. If we smash through the levels, higher we go. I don't think we're going to do so, guys, but who knows, right? Manage risk with your trading. I'm going to wrap it up for today. Thank you very much. It's been a long one. Hope you liked the internal explanations. Much love to everybody. 100x leverage like a man. Stay cautious, guys, with your trade. Trading is not easy, okay? And there's going to be some days that you just don't trade, right? If you're doing this for, you know, to make money, you need to be very, very good. My short is printing money like a boss, bro, says Jerome. Yeah, it's possible. You know, there's a very much a possibility of rejecting. My short is printing. Well, what if we do claim the highs, right? You get stopped out at break even, I guess, or managing risk, okay? Stay cautious. Much love to everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.